It is remarkable, though, as I watch the media and listen to players, even people I like, a lot of pushback. He's overrated. He's not that big of a deal. People don't. Okay, time out. Listen to this. He's already the most popular NBA draftee of all time. This is with the Pelicans. Not with the Lakers, not with the Celtics, not in a major market, in a football city where the football owner owns the NBA team. I mean, they had NFL people running the organization. It was 2 months ago, it was a hazmat spill for the NBA. According to Fanatics, Zion shattered the record by selling more Pelicans jerseys and shirts than any draftee in history. But here's the stunner. In the 5 days after the draft, people purchased more Zion shirts and jerseys than they did for the entire first-round class. Excuse me? You got to be kidding me. Folks, yesterday, Enes Kanter, one of my guys, very good NBA player, was the latest to doubt Zion Williamson on our chair, on our couch. Here's what Enes Kanter said.
I kind of feel like he's overhyped. I feel like he's Julius Randle with hops. Some players are even scared to say it, but you know me. I'm not scared to say anything. I'm outspoken.
Okay, so I want to talk about Julius Randle with hops. So 18-year-old Julius Randle averaged 15 a game at Kentucky, averaged 1 assist a game, and shot 16% from three-point land. 18-year-old Zion at Duke averaged 23, shot 68% from the field, 34% in threes, twice as many assists, and he's a better ball handler. Now, it's not the first Julius Randle comp I've heard. Both are lefties, and both look like men at 16 years old. But talent announces itself. You don't have to search for it. You kind of had to search for Julius Randle at 17 years old. At 16, 17, Zion was an internet sensation. At 18, he was an American sensation. And I want you to think about this. There are late bloomers all over life. There are Hall of Famers who are late bloomers in all sports. But it is almost unheard of. You got to search to find a late bloomer that becomes a legend. Okay, Serena, Eddie Murphy in comedy. Legends. I'm not just talking funny. I'm talking legends. Almost always you can spot it early. Magic, Tiger, Serena, LeBron, Bryce Harper on the cover of SI at 16. Kurt Warner was excellent. He's not a legend. Now, people will say, Colin, Michael Jordan cut from his high school team. Overplayed. He was a McDonald's high school All-American and offered a scholarship to, at the time, the number one program in America, UNC. By 17, he was great. Colin, what about Tom Brady? He was offered a scholarship and played quarterback at Michigan, at the time a top 5 program in America. And oh, by the way, by the year 2 of the NFL, he won a Super Bowl. That ain't late blooming. What about Steph Curry? At 23 years old, he's a real late bloomer. At 23, the Warriors traded an all-star guard for Steph. Next year, he averaged 24 a game. If those are your late bloomers, then they don't exist. Jerry West made a trade with Charlotte to get Kobe Bryant. Kobe was 18, 19. Jerry West told Shaq before Kobe played a game, you two will win multiple titles together. He is an all-time talent. Gordie Howe in hockey was a 23-time All-Star. He was invited to training camp with the New York Rangers at 15. 15. Derek Jeter's high school scouting report, according to Dick Grouch, April of 92. A Yankee, a 5-tool player. He will be a major league star, a +5. Okay, Zion's an easy one, folks. Talent announces itself. Julius Randle, at 15, was an anonymous high school sophomore. Zion, at 16, was an internet sensation. Looks, pizzazz, style, strength, power. Now, this morning, Zion Williamson is not as good as Julius Randle because Julius Randle's 24. and it has taken him to 24 years of age to be a 20-point-a-game guy. This morning, Julius Randle is better. In 1 year, they'll probably be even. From that point forward, Zion will be a significantly better basketball player than Julius Randle. Don't outthink the room on Zion Williamson. This is what Tiger Woods was at 17, 18. There were some doubters. I heard them. Swings too hard. This is what it looks like, folks. Crazy. And I love Enes Kanter, but crazy. Zion just sold more jerseys and shirts than every other first rounder in the draft, first round combined. In my life as a sportscaster, you would think that all the big markets and all the rich people win. That's the way it should work, right? Better resources, better geography, better weather. But in my life as a sportscaster, if you are excellent at everything, you win regardless of where you're at. That's why I think Kawhi stays, and the Raptors, who do everything well. Their training staff, their GM, their scouting staff. They found Pascal Siakam. They do everything well. They coach well. They GM well. They scout well. The training staff, they market well. Folks, in theory, TCU football should not win 11 games a year. TCU, Texas Christian, small private school. They're surrounded by the University of Texas, Texas A&M, Baylor, Oklahoma's a 3-hour drive away. They win 10 to 11 games a year. There is no reason Nebraska football dominated a decade. Why? There's no players there. They're in the middle of nowhere. There's not a major airport. There's no reason UConn became a basketball dynasty. The men won 4 titles in 15 years. They were the toughest team Duke had to face in the tournament. The women became a dynasty. Have you been to Storrs, Connecticut? I lived in Connecticut, and I never went. It's a pasture. There was no reason it would become the best basketball school in the country for a decade and a half. You know why it did? 2 legendary, willful coaches. There's no reason Gonzaga is a top 5-6 program in the country. It's closer to Idaho than Seattle. There's no players there. The St. Louis Cardinals are in the middle of the country. It is, by most accounts, a fairly boring city, would not be attractive to players. It's a medium to small market and sort of a dying American city. It's a furnace in the summer. You might as well play inside of a microwave, and yet they have 11 World Series titles and probably the best baseball fans in America. Players love playing in St. Louis. Nebraska football, TCU football, Gonzaga basketball, UConn basketball. There is no, say this out loud, the most Tony-nominated musical of all time is a rapping musical about Alexander Hamilton. That makes no sense on paper. But excellence cuts through. Yes, a rapping musical about Alexander Hamilton is the most nominated musical in American Broadway history. Folks, excellence wins, regardless if you're in Boise, Beijing, Syracuse, Singapore. It doesn't matter. Kawhi Leonard. Great GM, great training staff, great owner, great fans, great marketing, free penthouse, free private jet, free food. Be very, very careful about leaving a place that does virtually everything well. Because about 90% of these programs, these franchises in America have major holes and don't do things well. By the way, Lou Williams, I think I get it. It's cold, the taxes are bad, and it is different living in another country. I am not denying any of that. I'm not. I mean, David Beckham comes over, lives in the States. He's from England. You know, you talk to them. America's kind of feels different than Europe. It's fine, but it always still feels like London's his home. I get it. It's different. But, man, in all my years of sportscasting, the teams that dominate sports and the people all overcome obstacles. But excellence always cuts through. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.